Hello, welcome to Natemare Flix. I'm Nate, you're you. Are you watching Netflix's I'm Not Okay With This? Because if you're not, I'm not okay with you. No, I'm just kidding, but for real, this is such a good show. I binged it all in one night. I don't think I've ever done that before, so if that's not enough to sell you on it, I guess we'll just have to do a whole video. Here we go. I'm Not Okay With This was created by Jonathan Entwistle and Christy Hall. If you have not seen The End of the Effing World on Netflix, I highly recommend you check that out. But that was also created by Jonathan Entwistle. You can really feel his voice in this. If you're not familiar with that show, then it is, let me just put it this way, it's a coming-of-age story. It's got some really dark black humor in it, but it's also got just a ton of heart, and that holds true here with I'm Not Okay With This. Christy Hall, she lends a very powerful female voice as well. You can just tell that this main character, portrayed by Sophia Lillis, was written and had a lot of insight contributed by a woman, just because it feels so authentic and real to a young girl's experience in life. And they nail all of that, everything that goes into her character. Her socioeconomics, I felt were not exactly like mine as a child, but I remembered, going to a school that was known as the rich school, but not being from a rich family in any capacity, and always kind of looking at others in a certain light. Even though that wasn't fair, it took some growth, it took some time to figure that out, and that holds true for a few characters in this show. So you look at that class disparity, you also have these young people and their perspective. It feels very real as they are dealing with puberty and just change and some just rough thoughts and some self-doubt and trying to figure out who they are, whether that be sexual identity or just social identity, what they want to ultimately be, where their life is heading. I know that sounds super heavy, I know that doesn't sound fun, but it is. They do it really well. This show is so funny. The dialogue is just so quick and witty and bright, to where I really enjoy a show or even a stand-up comedy if it can get me to crack a grin or a smile or do that little like that. If you can get me to exhale out my nose, I'm like, all right, good on you. That means I'm entertained. This show had me just laughing out loud at like a point or two every episode. I enjoyed this thing so much. And I mentioned Sophia Lillis. She's fantastic in this. This might be her best work to date, which is saying a lot, because I think she really exploded onto the scene with what she did in It Chapter 1. I think a lot of people walked away from that movie being like, the kids in that movie were so incredible, and I think that Bev girl, she was the best. And she just raised her game even more for this show. She is so good in it. One of her It co-stars is in this, Wyatt Oleff. He plays this super weird, kind of like outsider, do his own thing, go with his own flow, but it's such a beautifully little eccentric character. If you want to know what this character is, just imagine an alternate universe where like Zooey Deschanel and Jason Segel have a kid. It is this Wyatt Oleff character, and yeah, good for him, because when I was watching it, never did I think, oh, this kid, he's one of the best actors in this group. He just didn't get a lot of time to shine. Never really focused on him. He wasn't one of the leading kids in that group, and now we realize that it's not because of his acting, because he does some really great stuff in the show. He has a great rapport with Sophia Lillis, and it's just really cool to watch them play off one another. They have some almost John Hughesian moments. If you were watching this and you were too young to know John Hughes, do yourself a favor, hit up your parents to watch some John Hughes. They'll be down with it, I'm sure. Go check out some Breakfast Club or some Ferris Bueller or something like that. You'll have a good time. This show feels very John Hughes, but it also has some Carrie elements. Again, if you're very young, it has some Eleven from Stranger Things elements. It has some freaks and geeks going on. It's a very eclectic show that just feels so fresh and unique. It is just such a good time. If you like subtext and you like themes, it's going to have that for you. But if you just want just a good story with characters you love and are invested in, it's going to have that. And if you like having a little paranormal, a little something extra going on, this has that. This is a very, almost even Stephen King in that way, because we're focusing on this young girl and her trying to navigate life and figure out so many different things about herself, and now she's got to deal with these weird paranormal powers, and she's not one of these female leads that just has everything figured out, that's infallible. No, she is very much a rooted in reality teenage girl. Sometimes she's right, sometimes she's wrong, sometimes she's too cynical. She doesn't have it all figured out, and now her head is all just more of a mess because she has powers. And what if people find out? You know, life is already so hard. What is she supposed to do with them? And she can't control them. She can't control her emotions. Oh my God, everything's spinning out of control. That's what I'm saying. It is so good. You got drama, you got comedy, you got just real emotion. Watch this show. Seriously, watch the show. And then the ending. Oh man, this is my favorite ending to a season of anything in a long time, because the show starts with, we just see Sophia Lillis running, and she kind of looks like Beth from chapter 1 of it, because she's wearing a dress and she's just doused in blood. So right there, you're like, Carrie, they're doing the Carrie thing. I know where this is going. You don't. Yeah, they're gonna do a little spin on it. They're gonna make it their own, and it's gonna be arguably cooler than Carrie in the end. Oh, did he say that? It's blasphemous. I said it and I stand by it. The ending, I was like, hell yes, that is what I'm talking about. Yes. So, you know, hang in there towards the end, and that's no Herculean feat that I'm asking you. This thing is like 7 episodes, or like 20 minutes a piece, and you're gonna be just enveloped by it. It just moves so well. There's so much going on with each episode, and it's gonna either just transport you back to that period of your life, or if you're in that period of your life, you're just gonna find yourself relating so hard to it, but in a really good way. At the end of the day, like I said, this has some cynicism that you'll find is very true and real, and then other times that heart will shine through, and it'll kind of take that dark edge off. You're like, you know, maybe I shouldn't be so cynical. That isn't true. So it just gives you a very real, true perspective, and a really nice take. Like I said, this thing is just so refreshing to watch. I kind of needed this. It broke up. I feel like everything I've been seeing, you know, everything is kind of cycling. Everything is kind of the same. This is very much its own thing, but it's great. Not enough? You want story tidbits? Fine. So like I said, it starts off, Sophia Lillis is running, she's covered in blood. I've already hinted at that she has some sort of superpowers. You know, she's kind of Carrie or 11-esque and what she can do with her mind, but she has no control over it. Just when her emotions are at their peak, stuff gets all crazy. So she has to try to figure that out, and she's gonna, you know, bring on the help of that Wyatt Oleff character, and then also a character played by Sophia Bryant, who I just have to applaud. I've never seen her in anything else, at least not to my knowledge, and she is fantastic in this. She is such a good actress. And if you are a parent of a young girl, I'd have to imagine this is the type of friend you would want her to have. You know, she's right there beside her as much as she can be. Of course, they kind of go astray at times, they go their own separate ways, but that happens. This show, that's what I'm saying, it is so true to real life. The friends you grew up with and stuff like that, there's gonna come a point where you both start to change and you mature and you develop and you want different things, and new people come into your lives, and you know, you do your own thing. But at the end of the day, you know, she is to be depended on. She's a good person, and it's just refreshing. She kind of balances out the mood of this show. You know, she's kind of the yang to Sophia Lillis' yin, and it's just really nice to see two like strong female characters of that age balancing off of one another and demonstrating such a rapport and navigating this really crazy story. It's really just, I can't recommend enough that you watch this. So there you go. I've laid out my case. Amazing characters, amazing acting, super fun premise that uses some, you know, classic loved concepts or things that we've seen in other shows or movies, but it adjusts it, spins it on its head, or it refreshes it for the modern age. So if that doesn't interest you, well, then so be it. But I think you're missing out. So that being said, if you like this video, if you are okay with this video, be sure to share it, like, comment, subscribe. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, but I'm telling you, please go check this thing out. You'll have an even better day. My name is Nate for Natemare Flix, saying that's a wrap.